All right, welcome back to another episode of I-64 Sports Podcast. We got three special guests in the house today. We got Virginia Select coaches, Randall Johnson and Coach Parker. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Y'all legends. Legends. Yeah, man. Don't shortchange yourself, man. You're a legend. You're a legend. All right, Coach. So, Coach, we're going to hold off on Coach Parker because I think everybody in 7-5 Virginia, we already know about you. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Coach Johnson. Tell them about you.
Well, my name is Randall Johnson. I've been coaching since I was 19. I do work with Hampton University as a director of operation, grad assistant. And I do the leg work.
Okay. It's for the men's, women's program?
I do both.
Okay.
I do both. I handle more concentration on the men's side.
Okay.
Especially doing off-season training, during the season, preparing for practice plans, scouting 2 games ahead as far as whoever we playing, checking classes, making sure the boys is doing what they're supposed to do with Buck standards, and USA basketball with along with Jamal, you and now Coach Parker, and then got the kids in the area.
Right. So that's all right. So how'd you get into coaching at such an early age? Because 19, that's pretty early to get into coaching.
When I was in undergrad at South Carolina State, I had to do a practicum, and I really didn't want to just travel anywhere out Orangeburg because I didn't have no car.
Okay.
So we had a middle school. We had a private school on campus, and that's when I got involved with middle school at that age. And then the head coach for the girls team, his daughter was on that team. So when his daughter was on the team, he saw me what I wanted to do, and he just needed help. So he needed a practice player. So I had already did the NCAA clearinghouse. So once I was eligible to play, be a practice player, cause you got to go through that to be on the court at the same time as them.
Wow. So even if you weren't officially on the team, you still had to go through the clearinghouse process.
Correct. So once we went through that, I was just a practice player, water boy, towel boy, whatever he needed, I got it.
Right.
Then I learned the game from him as far as watching film, getting endurance to watch film, because that just don't happen overnight. It's really boring when you first start.
Okay.
And I just grown from there. And then once I graduated, I did the last 2 years with coaching that middle school team. 2 years with the girls team. Came home, I got the Azalea job, and then 2 years after that, I went to Hampton.
So what do you find is the biggest difference, when you're working with the younger kids and college kids, the college athletes?
Attitudes. The older the kid, it's harder to coach because they could do more than you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things, dealing with Hampton. The kids is 6'8", 6'9", 240. They gonna do what they want to do.
Right.
And the only thing you could do is guide them.
Okay.
As far as the youth, they gonna listen to you. They gonna listen. They trust you. You build that trust with that kid, that parent. You after you gain that trust, you could train them, and that's what they want. They just want to get better.
Right. And what about the difference between the men coaching men and women? Is it about the same thing?
I think the difference between that is education. It depends how bad that student athlete wants it. Everybody's, to be honest, in college level, everybody that comes to college is not a college student.
Okay.
And that's our job as far as motivating that particular athlete to grow as a student, not just a player, because they look at it as a business, and they smart enough to understand it's a business. Mm-hmm. And the school has to win to gain more funds, or coaches keep their jobs based on performance.
Right.
So they get hooked on trying to help the team win, and they get lack as far as academics. But that could be both sides, boys and girls.
Right.
So it's all about that player, that student athlete.
Coach Parker, you also have experience coaching men, women, as well as in addition to younger kids. What do you see the biggest difference?
Coaching women and guys. Women and young ladies will hold on to stuff more. Mm-hmm. And more emotional, I think.
Right.
That was my big adjustment coaching the women's side of basketball. Mm-hmm. Guys will let stuff go, but girls can, women can, or young ladies can hold on to some stuff. But I tell my girls, though, they're basketball players. We're not a girl basketball player or guy. You're a basketball player. Certain things we can't do. Might can't dunk like the guys, but we can shoot, we can handle, make moves. Right. You're a basketball player. And if you believe that, then that's what you do.
So do you think there's more emphasis on skill development on the women's side of ball than the men's? And when I say that, because like you said, there's not really the athleticism, when we're talking about dunking and all the things you see on the men's side, so we do have to learn. We learn the game and, develop skills.
Thinking on it, I think women can be more skilled than guys because a lot of guys would depend on their athletic ability more than their skill work. Right. Yeah. So I know we kind of skip past, your coaching history, but it's kind of go press the rewind button and kind of give us a rundown about you. I'm Cornell Parker. I'm from the area, Norfolk, Virginia. Went to Moyer High School. Went to Fort Union for a year afterwards.
Sorry about that. You should have went to Lake Tulsa. Go ahead. Or Graham, both of my schools.
And I was fortunate enough to go to UVA on a scholarship. I played with Boo Williams in the local area. Okay. And then I ended up playing overseas. I signed with Golden State coming out of college. Stayed there for 2 months, then got released and went overseas for a few years. And then I came back home to coach with Coach Baker. And that started my coaching career.
So that was around, what, 25?
Close. 1998 was my first year, I think, coaching. Okay. Yeah.
Wow. How was I in 98? About Z's age. It's like 11. So you know a lot more about basketball than we do. And of course, the kids that you coach now. So how tough is it for you to translate, what you learned all through the years to the younger generation?
Sometimes it's tough. A lot of times, a lot of people want to know your knowledge because I'm a big believer in you just take stuff from different people. Like I've been around Coach K. He worked out doing a traveling team in the summertime. Coach Jeff Jones at Old Dominion. Okay. So I think, and then Michael Jordan's personal trainer. I've been with him. Okay. So it's like when you mention certain things and you teach certain things. I think kids buy in, especially if you can show them. And when I train, I try to tell you why you're doing something and not let's just run this drill. So then why am I taking this first quick? Because it's making you faster. Right. Why are you holding the ball up here? Because it's a faster shot now. Right. Little things. So I think when people want to know, like knowledge, like education, basketball is education. And if you can give your knowledge to other people, which I love doing, that's what you want to do.
I think it's so dope how the younger kids, they're able to touch, and learn from the former pros like yourself. And, yesterday I was at Dorian Finney-Smith camp and Rick Carlisle was there. The head coach from the Mavericks was there. He took his time to teach the kids how to shoot. He was like, no, we're going to keep doing it. We just kept doing the same drill over and over and over. He's talking to the kids. And Dennis Smith Jr. was there. Of course, Dodo was there. You have 3 guys right there, NBA, that you can learn from.
Here.
Free camp. And it was a free camp right in our area. Oh, man, it was so incredible, man. So, I know the kids, they may not see it, but I remember, when I was a kid, we were going to Paul Webb camp. That was pretty much it. That's what we were doing. So, there's a blessing. That's definitely a blessing. I hope you don't take that for granted, what you do. No. I'm sure, people in the area there, they really appreciate you. I heard a lot of great things about you.
I appreciate that.
No problem, man. Yeah. No problem. So, how we get involved with USA Basketball?
To be honest, I saw Magic Johnson talking on ESPN one time. This was about 4 years ago. Okay. And he put a promo code out on the TV during the Western Conference Final, I think it was. And I was like, well, let me at least look at it. So I copied and pasted it. I registered for the card. It's a gold card or a blue card. Okay. And I just read what the instructions was. So now when I went to search, they had hundreds of different camps. Okay. And clinics. So what I did was I registered for the New York camp. And at that point in time, your appearance means everything. So when I went to that camp, that's when first time I met Don, and that was in New York. The next day, I drove I got on the Chinese bus, went all the way down the Chopper Hill.
That's a story.
And Kenny Smith camp, and that's when I was helped running that camp, Kenny Smith camp at Chopper Hill, and that lasted a week. Okay. So that's when I first got in USA Basketball. Right. Then a few months later, that's when they opened up. They was going to have their first ever national tournament with 14U, and that's when we teamed up, and that's it went on from there.
Took that thing, brought it home, huh?
Yeah.
So what's the biggest thing about, putting together a team like that? On the USA basketball level, you can't come. You're not coming with just your regular, AAU team, your regular travel team. So what would you say was the biggest challenge about putting a team together the first year?
Trying to build unity. It's very hard to build unity, unfortunately in our area, because everybody's so used to the regular. Everybody's so used to AAU. Everybody's so used to the 6 games for middle school basketball. Mm-hmm. So to me, thinking outside the box, what other outlet the kids have, and my job, the job I took on, trying to make it easy for the parents. Mm-hmm. Parents got to pay this and that for AAU. They got to pay for travel. They got to pay for gas. They got to pay for hotels. They got to pay for team registration. Mm-hmm. They got to pay for the uniform. Then they got some organizations pay a monthly fee. That's a whole bill.
Right.
Now, the thing I value so much from USA basketball is a one-time deal. You have the biggest tournament of the summer after AAU or before AAU is not involving AAU. Mm. So I think now everybody knows about the 16U team, 17U team. Now they starting to focus on middle school.
Right.
So by them still trying to grow, it leaves an open door for more employment or more involvement to grow.
Gotcha. So that first year, like you said, not to skip because I want people to really paint the picture for the people that don't, that's not here and wasn't a part of the process. But really, like, what were some of the things you had to do to get the team there? Because I know that first year we didn't have the parents paying. We took like 13, 15 kids down there in a van. So, I'm sure it was a lot of stuff you had to do to get that team there.
Well, one of the things I had to do, I had to work. Mm-hmm. I kept, when you tell a parent something, you want to keep your word. So I know AAU was a big deal with a lot of these kids in the area. So I know a lot of kids can't afford, I say $350 or $400, everybody could go and we all good. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I just got an extra job and just paid it for myself.
Right.
And I felt like the experience itself opened the door to a lot of, different things for the kids could do or different ideas that we could do in the area. But that was the biggest thing, me working an extra job after teaching, after working with Hampton, and trying to communicate with other coaches.
Right. And of course, that first year was, me, you, Coach Yilgelb at Lake Teller now. Mm-hmm. We went through a lot.
We did.
I would be lying if I said, everything was cookies and cream, to say with that. Even putting the team together, got a lot of fight back from some of the area coaches. It was really tough. It was really tough. Randall and Coach Johnson, he did a lot. That he can share if he want to, but I know for a fact that we wouldn't have made it without him. We wouldn't have made the experience. We wouldn't even known about USA basketball without him. I didn't. Me and him barely even spoke before, we put this team. We didn't really know each other. Yeah. We didn't really know each other. But I just saw how hard he went for the kids. And I think that's the vision that we both shared is, we'll do whatever, to put these kids on that platform, and I see you continue to do that with you and Coach Parker. You had a tremendous team this year. I felt like one of y'all parents when I was watching it. Like I'm like, hold on, I'm supposed to be recording the game. Like I'm over here going crazy. Like I really enjoyed watching y'all team play. Yeah, y'all did a great job. So, like Coach Parker, this being your first year with USA basketball, what do you think of the experience?
It was great. I told my friends about it when I got home. It was just something different. Mm-hmm. Randall introduced me to USA basketball. It was the first time I've been a part of it. And it was a blessing to be a part of it, to watch him coach and put this thing together. Like you say, he goes way beyond to do things for the kids. And that's what gravitates me to him. Okay. But this team that he put together was one of the best teams I've been around. Yeah. I've coached some good teams, very talented. This young team was just as talented as I have a team with Cam Chancellor, Sean Washington, these guys, Division I players, athletic-wise. These young ladies were very impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you came into the picture, what did you try to did you try? Was it hard for you not to step on his toes? Like, was there some kind of I'm gonna give him some leeway, but I'm right here in his ear, and, in case he mess up.
Yeah, and that's the role I want to play. I can switch my role. I'm used to being with Coach Baker for so long, being assistant coach. Right. Play my role and just when he wants me to say something, and then I have to give him some leeway. He has to make some mistakes and do the things he needs to do to feel like he accomplished, and then we'll chop it up after the game. Say, hey, you could have did this different. We could have did this different. But I'm here for him as assistant coach.
Right, but for people that don't know, when you go home, you got somebody in your ear too, huh?
I do.
Right, of course. Yes. Your wife is she coaches at Maury, back at Maury now. How did you feel about that move?
It's kind of a good move if we plan on letting our family come to Maury.
Right.
So hopefully she can bring the program back to where it used to be and be competitive. That's all.
You ever thought about going to high school?
Once the Brian and Scranton job came, it's no going back right now.
Right.
I love what I do, being able to give out scholarships and being a part of their vision of helping kids in the area too as well, and move on to the next level.
Right. How long you been at Brian and Scranton?
This will be our 6th season. I've been with them 7, but the first year we did not have a team. We kind of put everything together. Okay. So this will be our 6th season coming in.
What side of you on the men's or women's side?
I'm on the women's side.
Women's side.
Yeah.
You ever thought about going to the men's side?
I've been offered the job twice.
Yeah, for real?
First year, the coach stayed for 2 years, and now he's at Norfolk State as an assistant.
Gotcha.
And then the second year, the coach can't. Well, I was offered the job after he left, and then another coach came and stayed 1 year. Now he was at Hampton for a year. Now he's at Longwood.
Right.
I was off the job then.
Right.
But I thought about it. But I built the girls program, and that's something now is in me. And I don't want to just give it to anybody. Right. So it's something I'm proud of starting the program.
Who's the most talented player you had during your time at Brian and Scranton?
Player that went to Norfolk State. Gabby
Swinson.
Mm-hmm. Yes. She's probably my most. And then we just had one, Tara Williams.
Okay.
From Deep Creek. She would be my number 2 most talented. Gabby she had all the records. Now she doesn't have scoring because Tara took over scoring, but Gabby had the rebounding record, assist record. She was that special player for us.
Right. How much have you seen Brian and Scranton grow since you've been there? Because I know you guys have added a couple sports. How much have you seen it personally?
A lot. I saw it from the ground up. So we've seen all the change to now that we have track. Our baseball program is doing well. They've changed the whole campus atmosphere in Virginia Beach.
Right, gotcha. I got a public campaign, get my guy on one of them staffs, man. Gotta get my guy on one of them staffs, man.
We working on that. Yeah. Behind closed doors, we working on something.
Got a gym. Got a gym right here in Hampton Road. A lot of people don't know about, because they're so used to how the old ways have been done. No disrespect to anybody, but these are new age now. Yeah. See, look, I'm giving you credit. You dropping mics. Come on, man. You gotta get it together. No, but like I said, man, that's a hidden gem here, man. He does, like I say, does a lot of things for the kids. Now with USA Basketball, he's been able to grow, and like you say, just gain. When you mention certain things, people look at you a different way. Yeah. So when you I train with MJ's trainer. All right, boom. I got to listen to Coach Parker now. I won 2 out of the 3 USA Basketball National Championships. That speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. You were there. You saw the level of competitiveness that was there. Our first year was just one age group. So, you had all and we were in the pool. We had 2 EYBL teams. We had an Under Armour team in our pool, and we were the only independent team in the pool. So we had all the heavy hitters that first year. And we lost 1 game and won 8 in a row?
Yeah.
8 in a row. That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
You feel different now?
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference?
I feel like, I could do it. I feel like, when the cloud get dark, you have obstacles, as long as you stay positive, keep pushing forward. Because that whole week, it looked good on the outside. It looked good on the outside.
a little different.
Trying to make sure, the Airbnb was right, making sure that, parents, it's parents. Let me tell you about these parents. These kids we had, everybody's, that kid on their team or their area. So the hardest pill for some parents was, understanding that you got to share this playing time. Right. And by me being honest, to what we see during the game and different situations. We had to play certain players. You hold their players accountable.
Because for the first time, with all of them being stars on their individual teams, probably the first time they've been held accountable for what they do, where they can come out the game and sit for an extended period of time, and your coach be like, all right, you go back in 30 seconds later. Yeah. No, this mistake could cost you 4 minutes of playing time. Yeah. So I guess that was one of the biggest hurdles, right?
Yeah. Because now parents came, they want to see their kid play, and I get it, but based on the amount of time for practice, you might have how the team was structured pick. Right. You might have 3 practices before we play or 2 before we play. Right. So we still learning the players. So by us still learning the players, we coaching as the game go. So that's strictly based on performance. Right.
And we also learning each other because y'all don't coach together, outside of USA basketball. Yeah. No. So you're learning each other coaching styles, right?
Yes.
When did you feel like you guys kind of hit your peak as a team? Like, when did you feel like, all right, we can go ahead and win this thing? Don't say the first game because I was there for the first game. Y'all won, but you definitely can't say the first game.
I'm going to say the semifinal game.
Okay.
The semifinal game. That game, we had a first round bye. We didn't play. We didn't have to play. This is the first time for any tournament I've been a part of. You had a whole day free.
Right.
Like normally you get a first round bye, you don't play Saturday morning.
Right.
But you play Saturday evening.
Right.
We had the whole day off.
Right.
So that was a little different. So we took that day to rest. Some kids iced their feet, we took them out to explore downtown. We wanted to go in the gym, but the gym, they had a blood drive in that gym, so we couldn't get the gym. Right. So we took them to see Lion King, girl time.
You like the Lion King?
I like it.
You like it?
I like it, but I felt like
when I say nothing bad about Beyonce, boy.
Let me tell you something, man. Lion King was the #1 Disney movie, in my opinion, coming up in the 90s.
So that's the high standard.
Yes. So when I seen this one, I felt like, all right, they trying to, you can't make Frozen better than this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
it's like Frozen.
Frozen better than this. So.
Yeah, I get it. So basically, it didn't live up to your standards.
No, it didn't.
Beyonce blew it.
I wanted her to sing more.
You want her to sing?
She's a character. I think she should be singing.
Gotcha.
But
I got you.
To go back on basketball, we had that whole day off.
Right.
So Sunday morning we had an early game. So you already know how relaxed we was and loopy and trying to wake them up. But I woke them up early, so they that's not an excuse.
Right.
So, but the team we played that Thursday, we won by we beat them by 20, 25. We played them again in the semifinal game. They gave us a run for their money.
Right.
And to be honest, the parents saved the game because the parents got to understand that it's a different platform. AAU, rec ball, you could really kind of talk the way you want to talk
to the officials,
and not get kicked out.
Right.
But when we hear Junior NBA, USA basketball, they got to understand that they holding us accountable, and these referees is not going to just take it, and they gonna show it. They gonna punish the parents through the kids.
Right.
So by them understanding that at that particular game, they saved the game because now them not. Bad calls go both ways.
Right.
There's no referee perfect.
Right.
So we got the ball last 6 seconds in the game. We get the ball. We get a foul. We don't get that foul. We handle them referees like the way we was doing at first.
Right.
You know. So we shoot 2 free throws. We go up 1.
Right.
So our other coach call a timeout. They get the ball at half court, and then they run their play, and they penetrating our bigs. But our big came through at the last minute. A big play. She blocked the shot. And we end up moving on to the championship round. That was the biggest adversity we had. That was the second one. The first one was we went down by 17 at halftime.
Okay.
That was the big problem as far as playing time because you played everybody.
Right.
But everybody don't have a big game when you sub 5 in, 5 out.
Right.
So you played the best 5 the fourth quarter, and we came back, took the lead. The team forced the overtime. Then when the team. They kind of jumped out on us early. First two drives, the first overtime, we lose by 3.
Right.
So that was the game that we lost. But I feel like once we won the semifinal game, and the team that beat us, unfortunately, the ball didn't bounce their way.
Right.
Their semifinal game, they lost by 1 also. So that's
Gotcha. So people don't understand just how dominant you've been during your run with USA Basketball. How many games have you lost in 3 years?
3.
3 games in 3 years. 3 whole tournaments, lost 3 games.
Yeah.
Incredible. So we got one of your superstars in the building today, don't we? You think she ready to come on camera yet?
Yeah, she ready.
She ready. What's her name? Go ahead, give her a brief introduction before she hop on camera.
Look, listen, we got Z the Problem in the building.
Z the Problem.
Listen, she really is the problem though.
Yeah.
Like she plays up every league I'm hearing about, every team she plays on. Mm-hmm. She's the dog on the team. She is me. This is the first time me really coaching Z. I train her, but this is the first time me coaching her.
Right.
And I really enjoy every minute of it. She's a leader on the floor. She doesn't talk back.
Right.
That was the big
Sounds
thing.
like great parenting.
It is. Like that doesn't happen in every household. And they hold her accountable for everything she does. And I respect them to the fullest. So Z, the one thing I like about Z when she's on the floor, she gets the team involved. She communicates on the floor. She's a dog on defense. She brings so much positive energy. We could be down, and to be honest, the only person I really knew that was on the team was Z.
Right.
And she was strong enough to understand that she let me coach. She let us coach. Mm-hmm. You know, and especially when we went down by 17. To be honest, I don't even think Z played the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And based on situations, you know, she could have been playing, you know, but she was big enough to understand that she let us coach our game. Right. And then after the game, we sat down and talked. Cause she did have some questions. You know, Z is a dog, and I respect her for that.
Right.
You know, pull me to the side respectfully, and she wants to know how can she get better.
Right. And
I broke it down to her what I was expecting at that point in time.
Right.
And then the rest is history after that.
That's mature for a 5th grader.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Playing up is very mature. All right, come on. Let's get her up here. Z the Problem. Either way, don't matter. Come on, Z. Welcome to the show. Ooh, got your medal on. Ooh, man. Put the headphones on, please. There you go. You gotta get used to this. You can be up here plenty of time. You good? Move up some. Come on, there you go. Hey, you good? Mm. All right. What's up, Z? Hey. All right. What's your first name? What's your first name? Zanaya. What's your last name?
Williams.
Zanaya Williams. And you are what grade? What grade you going to?
6th.
6th grade. All right. So just take us back. You guys were able to win the USA Championship. How did that feel playing it? How was that experience playing in that tournament?
It was great. I experienced a lot of talent, and it was fun outside of basketball. We had a lot of fun.
Right.
And
you saw The Lion King. You liked the movie?
Yes.
That's cool. What was your favorite part? Don't say the end. You know you died at the end.
It was my favorite part, but
for real? Why was that your favorite part?
Because I wanted I forgot his name, but I wanted him to be the king. I don't forget.
Simba? Oh, okay. Oh, you kind of skipping ahead to the sequel. You saw the old movie first, then you saw the new. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, just going back to the USA tournament though, like you said, it was fun for you. Had a great time. What did you learn from the whole experience?
I learned for me, I learned that it's different talents around the world, and for me, it just motivates me to get even better. Right.
You had a chance to play under Coach Johnson for the first time. How was that experience?
Great, and he's a very great coach.
He seems like a player's coach. He seems like he really loves you guys and trusts you a lot and really does a lot of great things for you. So congratulations once again. If anybody want to find you, social media, anything like that, parents, if that's fine. Okay. What's your social media handle? Social media, like Instagram. What's your Instagram?
You can just type Z the Problem and it'll come up.
Just type Z the Problem. Look, it don't get no better than that. Just Google me. That was basically like, yo, just Google me and it'll come up. Well, thanks for joining us on the show, Z. We really appreciate you. And I know I'll be hearing a lot from you in the future. And I just want to also add this. You have some great parents and continue to do right by them. And I'm sure they're going to take care of you very much. All right. So back to you, Coach Johnson. You can stay if you want to. It's all good. If you want to stay, you can stay. It's cool. You want to stay and just show that smile the rest of the show? That's fine. All right, back to you, Coach Johnson. Like I said, man, what's next for you though? Because I know you do a lot for USA, but what's the next step?
All right, our next step for USA basketball locally, they wants to bring a 3-on-3 tournament here.
Okay. Why so?
Because that's the new Olympic game they bring into the Olympics. Okay. So they trying to build up 3-on-3 around the whole country, getting involved with that. So I'm thinking about sometime before high school basketball starts, we could maybe get more participation.
So that'll be around November, October, November?
October. I think it should be October 12th through the 14th.
Okay, gotcha.
The kids don't have school that Monday.
Okay.
I think that'd be great. Everybody who participates in that tournament, it gets an automatic bid for regionals.
Okay.
That the location has not been posted yet for USA basketball, but the top 4 teams or 8 teams for regional gets an automatic bid for Vegas for the national 3-on-3.
Okay.
Now the good thing I like about that, the last 2 years, USA basketball picked 5 girls over the past 2 years, this year and last year, and the boys picked 4 from last year and this year to be on that 16-17 USA team. So I really think this is a good opportunity for if kids really wants to drive with USA basketball or be on that type of platform, because that will also help, put the name out there for me. You don't know what type of opportunity going to come from at least a tryout for USA basketball. You're going to have a tryout for the McDonald's team. You're going to have a tryout for the Jordan team.
Right. There's a lot.
There's a lot going on.
Right. That's it. So what else?
Hold
on. USA, give me the scoop.
They definitely wants to target middle school basketball. So next May we are planning on, as we speak, we're planning on taking this team to Germany.
Okay.
For a showcase for about 7 to 10 days.
Lit.
Yeah.
Lit. Look. That's dope, man.
A lot of kids will be out of school around that time, so that's perfect. We got the okay, so we could put this team in junior NBA for next year. So that's an international tournament where it's gonna be on Fox, ESPN, and FX1 or FS1. And that's gonna be in June. And if things go well, we got May, June, NBA, July, repeat. We're gonna repeat.
Nice.
And then June NBA, that international tournament will be August 6th through August 11th next year.
Cool. So it seems like USA is really entrusting you with their brand right now.
Yes.
Why do you think so?
It's all about networking and the way you talk to people and the way you carry yourself. The crazy thing is that when I first met Don in New York, I had goggles on. My glass was broke.
This is a funny story.
It definitely is.
This is a classic. Go ahead.
It's classic. So a year later from that, Facebook told it all. It was when you do a year later, you get them pop-ups. A year later, we won the whole national tournament. Yeah. So he got the same pop-up on his phone.
Yeah.
So when that happened, we just carried on. So as far as keeping in contact, keeping in communication through email, you gotta play a role sometimes. So, the people who I knew within USA basketball within my first year, I just kept in contact with them.
Right.
Happy birthdays, congratulations on your win. You follow their journey. And then once they see your journey, what you're doing, they're like, well, at least he's trying. And then once they see what we're doing in our area, it's not, we could say everybody else is doing the same thing with their kids or with their programs, but they see how much we are putting in with our area to help them in this area.
Right.
So, and I think, there's only a few people out there that's willing to go beyond to help an area.
Right. So you feel like you carry the flag for this area in terms of USA basketball?
Yes.
That's good. That's a great thing. You feel confident saying that? You didn't say it.
I did say it.
Put your shoulders up when you say it.
Yes.
Nah, you do, man. Like I said, all jokes aside, you do great stuff. Like, I'm proud to watch your journey. I've been watching your journey personally, since you started it. Like, and I tell you this on the phone all the time. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, man. Like,
it, bro.
Just the like I said, you see where you come from, where you at now. Where you proud of you. Like, you travel the road. You took the road less traveled. That's for sure. And you doing it. You doing the thing with it, man. You got great people around you, Coach Parker. The parents trust, like the players love playing for you. Just keep doing what you're doing, and I'm sure the kids they'll continue to respond to you, and you're only going to continue to get better at what you do and continue to grow. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother.
I appreciate it, bro.
My man. So what's next for Coach Johnson though?
Well, school year about to start.
Okay.
I'm back and forth for grad school. Hampton University. I can't really speak on the Big South, but we're in the Big South. We have to be even with the other teams in the Big South as far as personnel on the staff.
Okay.
So, I'm keep praying, prayers up. Hopefully, I don't have to keep going back and forth paying money out of pocket for grad school and trying to coach and work 2 or 3 jobs. So,
right.
This year I decided, I'm just gonna focus on coaching.
Okay.
And I'll start school probably in January in the spring once basketball season is about to cool down, or next fall, because I do believe the positions that's now open at Hampton could open up after July 1st next year.
I mean, if it don't, you're gonna be at Brandon Stratton anyway. We already worked that out. So. We already worked that out anyway. So it'll be all right. But like I said, man, you just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Like something's good stuff happen to great people, man. So you're gonna be all right, bro. I appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you having us, man.
Thank you, Coach Parker. Thank you, Z the Problem. Make sure you Google her, Instagram her. She up there. You too. What's your social media?
Coach_Johnson.
But it's what? Zero instead of?
Instead of putting the O's, you put zeros where they at, and they'll pop up.
Cool. And what about Brandon Stratton? Where can we find some Brandon Stratton info?
Brandon Stratton Bobcats. Look on the Bobcats. BSC and Bobcats.
Are you guys still looking for recruits? Are you still recruiting?
Maybe one. We're looking for one player. If not, we're good with what we have.
Okay. So if you ain't Maya Moore, we'll see you next year. But all right, that's another show, another episode of I-64 Sports Podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.